Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Welcome to week 40 of my weight loss journey. It feels surreal that I have now filmed 40 videos on my weight loss journey. There's been, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. I think it's 3 weeks that I've actually taken off, but it seems surreal that I'm coming up on a year and I'm almost exactly where I was a year ago. Last week, when I came on here and I talked about the weight loss journey, I expressed a lot of frustration. I still feel some of that frustration, but kind of a bigger issue has come up this week, so I want to talk about that a little bit because it's kind of taken a bigger issue and my weight loss journey has kind of gone to the back burner a little bit, but I also feel like they kind of overlap each other a little bit, so I want to explain what's going on. I did weigh myself today. I had to weigh myself yesterday because I went to the doctor, which is what I'm going to talk about. Well, I didn't weigh myself. They weighed me at the doctor's office, and so I weighed myself today, but other than that, I haven't weighed myself the rest of the week, and that's what I'm trying to do is just weigh myself once a week. I have to be honest with you, I haven't really eaten that badly this week, but I also have hardly worked out at all. Like, I think I took like maybe one walk in the last week. I haven't lifted weights or anything. I just really haven't been that focused on my health or even taking care of myself that well, and I'll get to that in just a second. So the weight loss journey has kind of been on the back burner of everything else going on. But I was kind of surprised because I really haven't been eating that much. And so when I got on the scales today, I had gone up, and I was a little surprised by that, especially when I got on the scales yesterday at the doctor's office. It was pretty close to where I was last week, which is still pretty close, but we'll get to that in just a second. So for about the last, I would say 2 weeks, I have not felt great. I think that I was struggling with a cold a little bit. I think that was just a couple days of it. I felt like it was a combination of things. And so I wasn't really sure what was going on. There were some days that I was lethargic. There were other days that I woke up and I felt very, very jittery. It was kind of like from my elbows down to my hands, I would wake up and I felt shaky. But sometimes I would look and it was like I wasn't shaking at all, but I felt shaky. I had pretty horrific headaches off and on throughout the day. At times I would have no headaches, and then out of nowhere, I have migraine disorder in association with my epilepsy. It wasn't migraines, they were headaches. There's a huge difference between migraines and headaches. If you have migraines regularly, you'll know what I'm talking about. But they were headaches. And so I was having headaches off and on throughout the day. And I didn't really know what was going on. There was a period of about 3 or 4 days when I was waking up, maybe it was longer than that, I don't know, but where I was waking up and I was very disoriented. When I woke up, I felt very dizzy. And so it was kind of all of these different symptoms going together, and I was like, did I get the flu? Is something going on? Am I sick? I wasn't really sure. In the back of my head, there was a part of me that really felt that it was kind of associated to Boo Radley passing. And I know this is a weight loss journey, so I'm not going to get into a lot of that. Because I've talked a lot about it on my vlog, and I think that most people that watch this video also watch my vlog. But, you know, with Boo passing, it wasn't just about Boo passing. And I can do a dedicated video over here talking about everything that's going on with me. I can do that. I would probably do that after my next therapy session, actually. But it wasn't just about Boo Radley passing, which was sad enough on its own, but it was also that Boo Radley was the last of our 3 dogs. It was very much the end of an era. Not to mention, since I came back on YouTube after the accident, Tucker had passed away the month before. And so, before I came back on YouTube, it's been Boo Radley and I every single day at home. The house feels very lonely. I don't leave very often unless I go with my cousin Caroline or Alex, or like once a week to a meeting with my best friend Tanya. And so I'm here a lot by myself. And the last couple weeks has been really, really hard. It's been hard. It's very, very quiet in this house. A lot of people have said, well, maybe you should get another dog. I'm not ready to get another dog yet. I don't feel like I'm in the place to do that. But I also think that this is something that's been lingering for a while, that so much of my life has changed after the accident, and I've been in therapy since then. At the time, I was in therapy like 2, sometimes 3 times a week. I processed so much of this, but I don't know that I've really allowed myself to really feel the feelings. And so I was finally the other day, on Monday, because I said to myself on Sunday, if I wake up on Monday and I still feel like crap, I'm gonna call and see if I can get a doctor's appointment, because I didn't think I'd be able to get in before Thanksgiving, because they're closed on Fridays, most doctor's offices, and obviously on Thursday they're closed. And so I thought, there's no way I'm going to get in. Well, so I wanted to start with my primary care physician and see what he had to say, and then if that, start with basic stuff and then move up to my neurologist if he said that there was something possibly neurologically going on. So I went to my so I called on Monday and they were able to get me in yesterday afternoon. So I went in to see my doctor and I was like telling him everything that was going on, and he was like, this is 100% stress related. He's like, you are experiencing extreme stress, and he's like, and I think it's also, situational anxiety and depression as related to what you're going through. And he goes, and I don't think it's just about Boo Radley passing. He said, I think it's very much, and I've always had a problem with attachments and the ending of eras and things like that. And I mean, ever since I was a little kid, I've had that problem. And so he was like, I think that you really are not taking care of yourself. You're not sleeping well, and you're not he really wanted me to start doing meditation and yoga. He wanted me to get back to my walks. That was one part of it. We did talk a little bit about my activity. I was kind of surprised because I thought, one of the things I thought it could be, even though I was taking my blood pressure was pretty normal. When I went in there yesterday, it was near normal. It was almost perfect. He had taken me off my blood pressure medicine, I don't know, a year ago, because I had lost weight and my blood pressure was normal and stuff like that. And so I thought maybe there was something with my blood pressure, because it kind of felt like, if you've ever been on blood pressure medicine or before that, you bottom out a little bit. It feels like it drops. And so that's kind of how I was feeling a little bit. It was a little bit. And so that was the only thing I could relate it to that I had felt. So I thought maybe it was something to do with my blood pressure, but he was like, no, I'm not going to put you back on the blood pressure medication. I mean, I told him all my symptoms, and he was like, this is 100% stress and anxiety related. And he was like, and I said, so this is something that you deal with other clients? And he was like, yes, or other patients. He was like, yes, from going through a breakup, heartbreak, divorce, somebody passing away, losing a job, moving across country, all these different things. Yes, I see this on a pretty regular basis. And, because he was like, I refer out for psych evals and things like that on a pretty regular basis. And I was like, the things he goes, from the arm down to your hands, he goes, yes. From the tingling where it feels like because I said felt like I was coming out of my skin. And he said that, and I said, even headaches, he goes, I see headaches related to anxiety and stress where people are having headaches for 6 weeks to 2 months on a regular basis. He goes, this is 100% stress related. And so he really talked to me about taking care of myself, really wants me to take 3 to 4 walks a week, which I had already committed to, but I kind of fallen off because I just really wasn't feeling like, I was making a lot of excuses, the weather and whatever. I just didn't really want to walk. Even though I love my walking, it's like if I miss a day or two, then it's harder for me to get, it's like the same thing with working out, So, but the main focus, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, like I said, he didn't really focus on my weight. I thought that one of the things he would say is we're still where we were a year ago, and I wanted you under 200 6 months ago, and you're not there yet. But he really didn't say, he said, that's kind of my last concern right now. He's like, I'm not really worried about that. He said, I'm more worried about the stress and anxiety. He said he wasn't really ready to put me on some well, obviously as an addict in recovery, he's not going to put me on Xanax or Klonopin or something like that, nothing habit forming. But he was like, a low level, anti-anxiety medication. We can try that. He goes, but I don't want to try that right now. He was like, I think this is situational. He said, so let's wait. He was like, he wanted to work with my therapist on talking to my therapist, which all of my doctors and professional people have whatever. So he was like, can I talk to your therapist and tell him what I saw? And I was like, yeah. He did a full checkup, but he was really stressed me. He was like, Peter, you have to take care of yourself. And so he kind of went through some things with me, but he's like, you got to figure out what that looks like for you. You've got to start taking care of yourself. I do think, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I wanted to explain why my focus this last week hasn't really been on the weight loss journey, but I also wanted to explain that I think that part of I've really thought about it. I've really thought a lot about it in the last 24 hours since the doctor's appointment. And I really do, it's not necessarily a number on a scale, but when I started this, I talked a lot about my health, right? And I physically do not feel great right now. I feel tired a lot, I don't sleep great, and I don't go to bed at regular schedules, hours, and I don't know that that's going to change, but there's different things that I can do with sleeping longer and whatever. I don't do a good job taking care of myself. Even when I eat, I'm eating pre-processed foods at meals and things like that. I work out for a week, or walk for a week, and then I don't walk for a week. I'm very aware of what I'm not doing. But I do think that better physical self-care also affects better mental health care. I'm a true believer in that. And I'm not doing those things right now that I could do that would help that. And one of the things that he said to me in the office yesterday was something I said this in my vlog last night, but something like maybe, because he talked about that he believes that this is stress that's coming from everything, like from since the accident up till now, that I've kind of just been like, even though I've been in therapy and I processed with my sponsor and talked to a lot of people about it, that done trauma narratives and whatever, he thinks that I'm holding a lot of it in and I'm still not allowing myself to fully feel it because of a lot of the guilt, shame, and remorse that I have of everything that that's happened in the last couple years. And so, I was thinking a lot about that. He's like, you've got to really focus on your self-care. And he was like, I don't know, maybe you needed to get to this point where your stress level is physically affecting, or is the stress level of what you've gone through, and you're not allowing yourself to like grieve the loss of what you've had, and you're not allowing yourself to move through it, like you say, and things like this, he said, is now physically impacting you. Maybe it had to get to this point. He's like, because I don't want you to get in here and, like have like, because I asked him something about like a heart attack or whatever, and he was like, I don't want that to happen. And I was like, he's like, but you're not taking care of yourself, and you're going to be back in here in a month and a half if you don't start taking care of yourself. And I said, do you really think that? He goes, absolutely. He was like, you have to start taking care of yourself. And I do think that one of those things about taking care of myself isn't necessarily, like I said last week, about a number on a scale. But I do think it's about eating foods that make me feel better, doing activities that make me feel better. I mean, he mentioned to me, like, yoga, walking. He was like, anything that gets you active, that makes, he's like, it's not about the, it's not the end result, it's not about the weight loss, it's about how you feel. Because he goes, how do you feel when you walk? And I said, I feel great, like my endorphins are pumping. He goes, that's what I'm talking about. He's like, that's that feeling that we want to, go after. That's where we want to get to the relaxation, because the relaxation will take away the stress. He was like, and that's where we have to get to, So I did weigh myself. Last week when I weighed myself, I was 206.5. And today when I weighed myself, I was 206.8. So I have gained 0.3 pounds in the last week, which I don't know, I'll be honest with you. Like, after I had a conversation on here last week, I was kind of like, I'm kind of over. I mean, I'm not over the scale. Like, I still have goals that I want to get to. I mean, I would love to be like 170, 180. Like, I would love to be there. I'd love to be under 200 pounds. I'd love to go in the closet and, like, when I go in the mirror, feel like I look so cute and so fantastic no matter what I put on. I'm not there yet. I feel better than I did 3 years ago. I mean, I see pictures now of myself like 3 and 4 years ago, and I'm like, damn. Like, I mean, I was 65 to 68 pounds heavier than I am right now. I mean, it's crazy to think that, And so, like, I am proud of myself on that, but it's like, I have goals I still want to reach. But those goals do not matter if mentally I'm not healthy as well. And that's why I wanted to start this journey all together, is I wanted to do a physical, spiritual, emotional journey. Like, I wanted to work on all those things together, and so that's what I'm doing right now. And this week was about taking care of my mental health and trying to figure out what was going on with my physical health. I'm pre-filming this on Wednesday for Thanksgiving, because we're going to do stuff with our family for Thanksgiving. So obviously on Thanksgiving, one of the things about Thanksgiving is, for me as a vegetarian, there's not a lot of options for me. I mean, every one of our families that we go to, they always kind of make me something special to have. But it's like mushrooms or green beans. It's not like I'm going to be eating like really, really unhealthy tomorrow. So I'm not too worried about that. In all honesty, I'm not really eating a lot right now. I'm just not. But I also know that I'm at the age, and my metabolism has changed and my body has changed, that 20 years ago I could eat less and I would lose a lot of weight. Now that's just not good enough for me. I have to be moving more. I have to be being active. And that also affects my mental health as well. So I don't know, maybe I needed to end up in the doctor this week, so it could be like a reality check of like, you've got to get in, like, you've got to start taking care of yourself, So anyway, that's what's going on with me. I wanted to pre-film this video because I didn't want to miss a week, especially the 40th week of the weight loss journey. I think I'm kind of looking at this point that somebody mentioned something on my one of my videos a couple weeks ago, and they said, you have like so many weeks until you're at the year. There's no reason why you can't meet your goals. I don't know that I can reach 170 in the next 12 weeks when I've been for 40 weeks at the same weight almost. But I definitely think that I can get below 200 pounds, and that is one of my doctor's goals as well. So that is a physical goal for me. But at this point, I also want to, by the end of the year, I want to be below 200 pounds. I also want to feel better. I want to be able to get on here for the new year and be like, you guys, like, I met the doctor's goal, I'm maintaining the doctor's goal, and I also feel great too, and I'm feeling so much better. So that's kind of my goal right now. So anyway, I wanted to pre-film this to have this up because I didn't want to miss this week. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.